So when it comes to global superstars, they simply do not get much bigger than our next guest.
For close to 70 years, Dolly Parton has been one of the most revered, loved and adored artists who has well and truly cemented her status as a living legend.
Dolly Parton, it's so wonderful to have you here on The Morning Show.
Well, thank you for having me. I miss being in Australia, so even this early morning, I'm glad to be there.
Well, it's lovely to see you through the screen. We need to talk about Dolly Parton wines. What made you want to get into the booze business?
Well, I guess when you get to be a celebrity, you got all people coming to you with all different things so you can use your brand. But this was something that made kind of sense because I actually got the idea to go ahead and do this now because I own 3 hotels. You know, we have the Heart Song Resort and we have the Dreammo Resort, and then I'm building a hotel in Nashville. So we're going to be needing to have our own wines there. We thought this would be a good time to start it. So why not go to Australia where they make great wines? And why not start with our sparkling wine and let that kick off our whole Dolly Parton line of wines?
Well, it'll match your personality, Dolly. So one of the best things about wine is having a little snack with them. I had a little look last night at your baking website, and you are, it seems, the queen of snacks. What would you pair with this wine as a dessert? I've seen you have things like caramel turtle brownies, choc peanut butter bundt cake, so many fun things.
Well, you know what? I think that when I'm in the kitchen cooking, you can have a nice glass of wine with anything. I don't, you know, they're always saying, oh, this wine goes good with that, this color goes good with that. But I think if you love good wine and good food, you can drink the wine with anything you like, don't you?
100%.
Especially my wine.
Yeah, absolutely. Who do you love to enjoy a tipple with, Dolly? If you're going to sit down and have a drink, who do you love having a drink with?
Well, I'm not that much of a big drinker. I love going out to dinner with friends, and I always love to have wine with nice dinners. But my sisters and I get together a lot. I have 5 sisters, and we have what we call sister nights. So we try to at least once a month or every 6 weeks to get together. So I especially love, you know, having that time, having the snacks and cooking things and having some wine with my sisters or with some friends.
Oh, sister night.
Now that's living.
Oh,
that's living.
That is beautiful. I love it.
You've been making Dolly music for a few years now, and you just continue to find ways to reinvent yourself. Just this year alone, you worked with Beyonce, Post Malone. What's your relationship like with music? Do you, for example, on Sister Night, listen to new songs, or do you stick to your faves?
Well, so many of my family are very musical, so a lot of times when we have sister night, we sing songs, and sometimes we even write some songs together. But as far as the music, I've been doing that my whole life, and I've been around so long, 7 decades, as they've mentioned earlier, that I've been in the business. But also, you know, people just seem to know my music, and they've followed those songs through the years, like Jolene, I Will Always Love You, 9 to 5. And then when some of these young people come along, like Post Malone and all these young people that ask me to sing with them, Beyonce, or if they can do my songs, I'm very honored that I'm still remembered and thought of as still relevant, even now at my age. And I still feel like I'm still going. I never know what I'm going to come up with. I did a rock and roll album last year. Turned out real well. I got to sing with a lot of the older artists, but then I sang with some of the new ones as well. So I just keep my heart and eyes and mind wide open for whatever may come next for me.
And I think everyone loves that about you, and that's why they love you, and that's why they want to work with you. If we look at Taylor Swift, and she's just done this big global tour with all her eras. You talk about 7 decades in the biz. You've got quite a few eras of your own, Dolly. Do you think about them in those sort of terms as eras?
No, I just love what I do, and I'm just very, you know, I've always written songs. I always say it's a song that brought me out of the Smoky Mountains, and it's a song that's going to take me wherever else I'm going to go. But I really do admire and respect the people like Taylor Swift. I think she has handled herself amazing. I think her songwriting's great. I think it's fabulous what she's done, and the fans, where she's able to play to all, you know, to all of that fan base, whether it's the parents and their children and their grandchildren, to young people, to older people. I think there's a lot to be said about an artist that has, you know, that kind of thing about them, you know. So there's a lot of respect that should go to that person.
There's something to be said too, Dolly, about your social media presence. It is an absolute treasure trove of this magical archival vision. What's it like finding a whole new audience, really, via social media?
Well, it's always great to find new audiences everywhere. All through the years, I've just been able to luck up on things like, for instance, when Miley Cyrus had Hannah Montana, a show that was so big here, and I think it was worldwide. I got to play her Aunt Dolly on that, which introduced me to a whole new group of people. And I'm not that high-tech myself, but I surround myself in my company with all these people that really are in the know with everything, and they make certain that what I'm still creating and writing and making up that is timeless when you have like a, you know, talent to write and to sing and all that. So, but there's much to be said about knowing how to market that properly. And every generation has its new thing. And as you well know, with the high tech and all the world out there, I just say, here's what I've done. Get it out there. Let everybody hear it. And they do.
I love that. Talking of social media presence, you've got this beautiful French bulldog, Billy. He's got 50,000 followers. We share that in common. I've got 2 Frenchies, Dolly, who aren't they just the most adorable dogs?
Oh, they're just precious. And little Billy, we write books about him. I've written a few books. We've got one coming out this Christmas because Billy Goes Home for Christmas. We had another one a while back called Billy's Big Adventure. So we're going to have a whole series of those and possibly even have a little show where he's animated and we play off of songs that I've written. He's my god dog, actually. He's not my personal dog, but I've just adopted him and I love him and he loves me. So little Billy's about as famous as I am anymore. Billy the Kid.
And you've got an amazing range of dog merchandise and apparel too, which I've been eyeing off, Dolly. But congratulations on the wine. I'm sure it'll be a big hit here in Australia. We can't wait to try it.
Yeah, you know, you can buy it at your Dan Murphy's and BWS there in your area. So get you some sparkling wine, enjoy the holidays, and Billy and I'll be having fun down here in Nashville.
I love it, and I love hearing the word Dan Murphy's come out Dolly's mouth. It's just perfection. Bye, Dolly. Lovely chatting.
Okay, thank you.
Thanks, Dolly.
Forget Billy. I wish Dolly would adopt me. Could she adopt me? As Dolly mentioned, Dolly Parton wines available exclusively at Dan Murphy's and I can't do BWS.
Isn't it great listening to her say Dan Murphy's? Dan Murphy's would be thrilled with that too.
Yeah.